Hello, and welcome to the first ever segment of Cupid's Arrow, where I, an aromantic person, give unsolicited advice for dating and relationships because I've got the qualification of being in a stable relationship for 10 years. 11 this August. We're going to start off with some basic things. It's not going to be super duper long of a segment. I just kind of want to give an idea of what to expect for future segments. Ideally, I will have guests in the future. But for now, I'm going to start with answering some of the questions for that I would be sharing with guests first so that, people have an idea of what to expect. How did you meet your partner? I met my partner the same place I got my couch. Craigslist. Because as it turns out, there used to be a personal ad section for like dating kind of thing. But that got shut down because people kept using it for prostitution, which is bullshit. Prostitution should be legal. Just my opinion. If it was, I'd be working a brothel right now instead of a. Anyways, how long have you been together? We will be celebrating our 11th anniversary August 4th. So, yeah, it's been quite a while, and frankly, we haven't actually had arguments where we scream at each other because, well, we can talk things out, like be adults about it. It's it's pretty nice. Yeah, what has made you certain that you are with the right partner? Man, it's a combination of things. For me, it was never like a singular moment of she's the one. Absolutely, she's the one. It's been constant of reassuring that the person I'm with is level-headed, emotionally adjusted, emotionally an adult. That's a pretty big thing. And it's just been spending time together grew more and more attached, and I don't really think I could I don't think I could enjoy the same standard quality of life if she wasn't in my life. I genuinely think she makes me a better person. How do we handle conflicts? We talk. Like it'll be like, "Hey, I kind of been struggling with this thing. I want to talk to you about it." And then, we talk about it and then do our best to find solutions for each other, try to work with each other. We know each other very well. Like hell, we started living together, I want to say 3 months into our relationship because we started dating in August. Oh, wait, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so like 6 months. In 6 or 7 months into the relationship, we started living together because like I want to go spend time with, or she went to her job and said, "Hey, I want Christmas Day off. I want to go spend time with my partner and their family." And they were like, "Yeah, okay, cool." Then the week comes up where they write out the schedules and they booked her for Christmas Day. And she was like, "No, I booked this off." And they're like, "No, we need you to work it." And she's like, "I quit." And then they started freaking out, like, because she was a good employee, like the only ones who did graveyard shift there. So they, they, they lost a good employee because they wouldn't give her one day off, the one day she asked for. But then after that, it was hard for her to land work because, surprise, surprise, it's hard for trans women to find work, even in Canada. And, well, that kind of savings dry up. Oh no, we can't keep, or her roommates couldn't keep covering her share of the thing. So then I was like, hell, I care about you, girl. I'm not letting you live on the street. You're moving in with me. And she did. We lived together. Like I lived in what's it? A little basement suite with my childhood friend I've known since 5 years old, or grade five. We were like 10 years old. And then his partner at still partner actually. I lived with them. They had their own room. I had my own room. And then my now wife moved in with me there, and we just kind of shared one bedroom. She didn't really leave it because she didn't really know them. And I don't blame her. Introverts, that's how it goes. But I mean, that was out like a few months later. Then we moved into our own apartment thing, and we've just been together ever since. It just kind of worked out. But I mean, it doesn't always work out for everybody. So do be sure when you're moving into people because that is, oh, it's a nightmare to try and separate after that. And honestly, the house would just feel so empty without her, even with cats running around. Are there any small arguments that keep coming back? Not serious arguments, but I do keep bringing one thing up that she vehemently disagrees with me on, and that is frappuccinos are milkshakes. I don't care what you fucking say. They I can hear her from outside of the room saying, "No, they're fucking not." Like I'm not even yelling this. You guys can hear how loud I am, and she hears me.
You are just wrong. You're just wrong.
I'm
You're
not muted.
wrong.
I'm not muted. See, yeah, there. That is the extent of our actual arguments, or like a reoccurring argument or something. It's cheeky poking fun at each other, but we definitely disagree on that. I don't personally think they're literally milkshakes, but they're close enough that tomato tomato. Bun, I really appreciate you popping in. That was very funny. Thank you. Can you guys tell why I love her? I really do need more like couple questions, asking for asking couples for questions, but these were the five that I came up with off the top of my head, and well, I imagine they'd last a bit longer with an actual couple talking to on stream. But I mean, if you have suggestions for other questions for this segment, please let me know. I would always appreciate the input. Now, I do have a couple common questions, which is kind of are out there. First one being, how do you actually meet people? For me, I usually grinder. That's where I meet a lot of people. Though honestly, I've had such a bad batting average with grinder. Not for fucking, I fuck a lot. Or I did, and then I stopped using grinder. But like you're not meeting a ton of good people on grinder. So far, there's only one person I've met on grinder that I still hang out with. But like most people on there, they are not socially adept for the most part. I will. That's what I'll say. Well, they give some good head though. But for the most part, you don't find friends on grinder. But where do you find friends? You got to look for events that share your interest. Like you like anime? Check out anime conventions. You like games? Check out game shops. See if they've got community nights. That I'm pretty sure most tabletop stores, like game stores, will have like game nights available for you can bring in your whatever game. I know card shops do that a lot with like tournaments, or at least they did pre-COVID, and I haven't really gone post-COVID. Yeah, those are the main two things that come to my mind. It's like you're odds are you're not gonna find a good match just hitting up a bar and hitting on random people. Because, like, what are the odds that they share at least some interest with you? Because, like, you don't need 100% overlap with your partner and their interests and your interests. It does help to have some, because if you don't have anything in common at all, it makes it a lot rougher, but not impossible. Let's see what else I got. Woman pretty, how talk to woman. Simple, you treat them like people. Don't get it stuck in your head that, like, oh, she's so hot, she probably won't want to talk to me. It's like, dude, a lot of the time when people are real hot, people are scared to talk to them, so they actually get kind of lonely. I don't entirely know how true it is, but like, I'm pretty good with talking to people, walking up to being like, "Hey, I like that blouse you got on. Where'd you get it?" And then that just kind of breaks the ice into it, and we just keep talking. And like the main thing, honestly, ask questions, ask follow up questions, not just asking random questions, but follow up questions. Like you ask a person, "Hey, I like your blouse. Where'd you get it?" And then they answer, "Oh, I got it from this store, so and so over there." And they're like, "Oh, neat. I've never really been there. What are their prices like? What kind of selection do they have?" You keep the conversation flowing, because oh my god, does something does a flat conversation just kill moods? Because if you can come across as sociable, oh, you go so much farther. And also, don't dive into self-deprecating humor. You are not Bo Burnham. It it genuinely, typically pushes people away from you when you engage in nothing but self-deprecating humor, especially if you're not funny about it. And most people don't know how to write jokes like that. So, honestly, I would just say avoid it. You want to build up confidence and start small. You start small with like simple things of like, oh yeah, I'm not bad at that thing. But if you can, you start going with like, if you do something cool or funny or out there, and this is literally something I said to a friend just yesterday while we were hanging out. I told her your part or your pronouns are just she, not her, because I'm her. And obviously that got a laugh. But that's the kind of thing you want to do. You even if you think to yourself you're just doing it ironically, blah blah blah, people see that as actual confidence. You you literally fake it till you make it. Cuz like when I started gassing myself up like that, like I genuinely did not believe a thing. Did you finish charging your slime VR? No. I didn't even start charging them. Um yeah, basically you start gassing yourself up and it doesn't feel true to start. The more you do it, the more natural it does become. At least usually. If you are genuinely having trouble, I highly recommend counseling or therapy. They can provide you with a lot better support, I don't know, responses. They can get to know you far better than I can ever, because I'm just some anime girl on the internet. I've been around a bit, so I got a fair bit of life experience, and I'd like to think I'm pretty wise. However, even with all my glorious wisdom, I don't know everything. So you just do your best. Yeah. Date suggestions. I'm pretty sure I wrote that down as to like what are good ideas to take people on dates. Honestly, if you don't have much money, I did this for my second date with my wife. I just made some sandwiches and cut them into little tiny triangles because that it just screams picnic to me. And then we went to a park, sat on a blanket, and had these sandwiches. And it was a really nice time. We were sitting, looking over the water and just talking. And then an ant got to first base before I did, and I will forever be bitter about that. But you know what? You gotta. She picked me over the ant. I can't be too bitter about it. Aside from that, let's see. Because I'm trying to think of stuff that like you don't really want to, or you don't have to spend a ton of money on. Because like a classic to take someone on a date, it would be movie and then a dinner. Because then you have something to talk about over dinner. You have that ice is kind of broken there. It's just makes conversation flow a bit easier. I guess for nerves, just try to teach yourself you do belong there. Like you deserve to be happy, you deserve to pursue that happiness. No matter what your brain tells you, no matter how often your brain tells you, you still need to you still deserve happiness. Unless you're a Nazi. Fuck me, it stopped. It disconnected. Okay. We're going to wait a bit and then I'm going to. At least the recording's still going. That's nice. Yes, yes, you're disconnected, reconnecting. Come on, reconnect, you fucking thing. Am I back? Chat, are we back? Can you hear me, chat? Chat, I missed you. It it looks like I'm reconnected to the internet, but like I don't know until I actually see responses from chat. Cause like my recording's still going. Back? Okay, good. But like my fucking oh great, my OBS window is not updating. And my studio window from YouTube. Okay, there we go. I'll just have to watch that instead of whatever. Okay. So all I really have left are I think 5 telonym questions. Yeah, 5 that like, stood out to me. So we're going to do I'm going to answer those and then we're going to be wrapping up. They're using a weed whacker outside. Nice. Okay, again, if you have questions, feel free to DM me. Feel free to send them on Telenym. And here are some of the questions that really stood out to me. How would you feel if your boyfriend got really into politics and started going to protests? Stay or leave? Now, hypothetically, in this hypothetical, I have a boyfriend. We'll go with that for now. So let's say I had this boyfriend that started going to protests. The way I would respond would be different depending on which kind of protests are you going to. Are you going to like protest pipelines being built, you're trying to protest injustices towards minorities, I'm gonna suck your dick. You go to protests that are like, um, there was one protest in my city actually that people were mad that there was a queer group setting up a queer prom for high school students cuz like the high school students were not allowed to, or they couldn't really show off their queerness or something at the quote unquote normal prom. So this queer prom was announced and created. So these right wingers decided, hey, we're going to stage a protest. We're going to go raise our signs. We're going to tell those queers to go home, kind of thing. And well, I went to that. I went to the counter protest because I saw that popping up on my timeline. I'm like, oh, that's actually not too far from my place. I'm gonna go support these kids. Let them have a good night. Who actually gives a shit about what kids are doing? Leave the kids alone, you right wingers. Anyways, I show up and there's like 30 people, I think. I didn't get a head count, but there was a fuck ton of us. And like there was the big, I guess, rec room. I don't know exactly what it was called or whatnot. I never even went in. I just stayed on the sidewalk with all the other counter protesters. But there was a ton of us, and in between us and the building where the prom was being held, there was actually a fair number of police officers. And those police officers were wearing the rainbow police. Vancouver Police Pride. Let me see if I can pull up an image. No, this is not quite it. Like, you know, on the front of their uniforms where it says police? It's that, but in rainbow. This is for New West, but like you get the gist. It's better than not seeing it on officers. Like I'm pretty sure all of you know my stances on cops. I do not like the current law enforcement system we use. I will leave it at that because like right now I'm talking about police officers that were not so bad. But all cops are bastards. Anyways, there was the event happening and then the police directly in front of that and then all of us counter protesters in front of that, and I swear to god the total number of protesters like that were mad about the queer prom that showed up, I'm pretty sure it was like 5 or less. It was just a couple really loud people, and then when they saw the crowd of queer adults being like, let the kids have fun, let the kids be kids, they did not do anything. At most, a couple of them had like their flag on their shoulder and just walked through the protesters up the sidewalk, and then they crossed the street and went back because they were a bunch of cowards. But like they were trying to be, or trying to display dominance, inflict fear kind of thing. But like the looks everybody gave them was just raising an eyebrow watching them walk past and then continuing the conversation. And like these people left with their legs between their tail, or their tails between their legs. It was great to see. That was actually a couple of years ago now, I think. Okay. Yeah, so I would definitely stay with somebody who's protesting um minority rights, that kind of thing. But I mean, if you're on the side of the oppressors, then I don't really fuck with that. Okay, next one. What do I do if my partner doesn't like me wanting to spend every waking moment with her? Oh yeah, this question actually led to a fair bit of back and forth with this person, but I'm not going to go into all of that detail. If you really care, you can hunt it down on my telegram. However, I do think it's a good thing to want to spend time with your partner. Obviously, there is a limit to it, though. If you feel the need to, you know, spend every waking moment with your partner, I get the feeling you might have attachment issues and you might want to talk with a professional about that. But it's not inherently a bad thing. It just can easily lead to bad places. So you want to keep that in check. However, where was I going to go? However, you do like you want to spend time with your partner. You want to also spend time in moderation with your partner because people still need their individual times to grow and flourish. Like you don't want to fall too hard, excuse me, onto codependency because like I say this as like earlier this week my wife joked that if I ever had to leave town for a couple weeks, she would call me that night and be like, I need tuck-ins. And like it's a joke, but it's also kind of not really. But I love her to death. Um are you someone who can understand when someone turns their backs on a friend? Now, yes, I can understand why people do that. I have done that. Two specific times are coming to mind, and one of them was a an IRL friend that I am not going to get into details about because that was never made public. I'm not going to make that public. I'm just going to kind of move on with my life. However, there was the other one that was made public. That was definitely public because I was friends with another VTuber. Those who have been in my community for a while may know the name Resd Nova, but there was a time where I was trying to befriend this VTuber. I saw a troubled person and thought, hey, maybe they just need a positive influence in their life. And maybe they're just getting a bad rap. It turns out, no, they weren't just getting a bad rap. They were a very aggressive person that constantly attacked others. And the whole reason I even met them was because they were falsely accused of dating a minor. So there was a lot of talking about it. I believe you can look up on my channel. I think you just got to search Hellcast and you'll pull up the video because I had like three or four people on stream to talk about that whole situation. And then after that conversation, I was like, yeah, I'm trying to be a supportive friend to this troubled individual. Maybe I can help them get back on the right track. And that was kind of what she had said to me too. Like she wants to be a better person kind of thing, but she's only had negative influences in life. So I was like, okay, I'll take you at your word for that. You haven't burned me yet. We will see where things go. And like I did the three strike rule kind of thing. Strike one being, hey, you already have this horrible reputation against you, and it's like I'm kind of also putting my reputation on the line just associating with you, so that'll count as one. The second strike she got was when she started outright harassing a VTuber on Twitter. That was fun to wake up to. Basically, this one VTuber had like 6 boyfriends because, polyamory is a thing. And Nova was saying that that person was a cheater because she has 7 boyfriends, because she didn't know that you can consent to letting your partner have other partners. It, it's called being an adult. It's not that big of a deal. Anyways, she was claiming that this VTuber was cheating with no actual evidence about it. It was just she's making that claim because she heard about the 6 boyfriends. That's it. And like that led into a huge Twitter thingy. That was fun. By fun, I mean not fun at all. And then strike three. So it turns out, you know how when I met her, she was being falsely accused of dating a minor? Yeah, well, this person started secretly dating that minor she was falsely accused of dating a few weeks after the fucking discourse drama died down. And then when I found out about it, I got sent a tweet that was like her essentially defending it or something. I can't exactly remember. I'd have to go look. But I instead of just dropping her instantly, I took the tweet link, I messaged her, "Hey, what's this about?" And she was defending the relationship with the 17-year-old. Age requirement for this? What do you mean? Age requirement is in my community. I can't really stop kids from watching my YouTube. Um but yeah, this person started defending this relationship with the 17-year-old when she's 27 and already dating somebody. So like she accused a different VTuber of being a cheater while cheating on her partner, essentially. Now, as far as I was aware, they didn't get up to anything sexual. However, it was the waiting. We're just going to keep it a secret until 18, and then we'll tell people about it. That that's just fucking predatory. It's disgusting. How bitchless do you have to be 2017 or 27-year old and having to pick up 17-year olds? That's super bitchless behavior. But yeah, when I found out she was defending that and like I did nothing wrong, I didn't do anything illegal. I was like, I'm done. Washed my hands of it, walked away. Oh, and then she tried to, bait me into responding to her, but I just never did. Claimed she was going to starve herself until I told her not to. I just ignored it. But yeah, I can understand situations where you turn your back on friends. However, I don't accept the idea that you should just automatically turn your back on a friend. If it's somebody you have regular communications with and like you like them, and then something comes out that or something gets made public that you're like, "Oh, that's a really bad look." Don't drop them immediately. Talk to them about it. And that's just where I am. Let's see. One more, I think. No, I have two more. What do you think about saving yourself for the one? I don't think there's really anything normalized talking to followers. Yeah, I talk to my followers. She's done that with me. Wait, who's done that with you? What? I'm so confused. No, I'm not talking about like talking to followers about rumors. I'm talking about like friends, like actual friend people you're friends with. You if you're friends with somebody and then you hear something bad about your friend, you should talk to your friend and like clarify, "Hey, what the hell is this all about?" Cuz there's so many people that will just fucking they hear a thing and then they just fucking drop the friendship and that's it. Yeah. Like when I've had my own Twitter call out, because it wasn't really a cancellation. A cancellation is when members of the community band together to ostracize someone from said community. And for me, I was just called out on Twitter and like I lost 20 followers on Twitter, but then like it ended up giving me like 40 subscribers on YouTube. So I think I won that. And like the I saw some people had made like call out tweets, like quote tweeted, "Hey, at all these people, you're following Briley. She's a problem." Like fucking two people reached out to me. Outside of my Discord staff and moderation staff, two people reached out to me. That was it. And if they didn't reach out to me and like just kind of went along with it, I don't really give a shit if they blocked me or cut contact. Sucks, but I don't give that much of a shit. I got a life to live. Yeah, false rumors destroy lives and reputation. Yeah, absolutely. Uh Okay, yeah, the next one. What do you think about saving yourself for the one? I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with it. Feel free to if you really feel the need, but my personal opinion, I don't think you should wait until marriage to have sex or honestly find the one. Cuz like if you want sex to be good, you got to be having it. You got to be practicing. Nobody's good right out the gate. And if you want to really wow the one, you got to know what you're doing. And for the first time in sex, like most things, you don't know what you're doing. Like don't just watch porn to try and give yourself ideas of, "Oh yeah, I know what I'm doing in the bedroom." No. If anything, you if you want to learn how to please a woman, you watch amateur lesbian porn. Cuz like they're not doing it for the money of it. They're doing it for the kink cuz it's hot. Like trust me, I know that's hot. But like they also actually do stuff that women like to feel. So you can learn some stuff from that, but ultimately you're not going to really know what works for you and your partner until you've started doing it. So yeah, have sex. Have safe sex. Use condoms if you're straight or actually no, stick with condoms until you fully trust the people. At least that's what I do. Cuz like I don't I fire blanks. So the only reason I wear condoms is, you know, not to pass anything or not to get anything passed to me. 'Cause as far as I'm aware, I'm clean. It's been a very hot minute since I've had a test, but it's actually been longer than I would have liked since I last hooked up. But I mean, nothing's burning, nothing's out of place down there. So what's the problem? What was else? What else was it going to say? No, I think that's about it for saving yourself. Um, can if you want. There's nothing inherently wrong about it. I just don't think you should. Just because you want to be good. Okay, and now the final question that I decided was worth um discussing on stream. Sex, VR chat, you, me, from an anonymous question. Like just from that alone, it's an anonymous question. I have no idea who asked it. I don't know if they're over 18. That's an automatic no. However, if I do know the person, there's still going to be qualifiers. Like if I know they're 18 or over, or if I know they're over 18, personally they actually have to be older than the movie Shrek for me to want to fuck them. But in terms of like ERP, I don't really get any satisfaction out of that, to be honest. Is is cool, but like engaging with it directly, not doesn't really get my mojo going. However, pictures and videos of said ERP, oh, that's hot. I like it. I'm surprised at how much I like VRChat pictures, but like I just don't care about randomly hooking up with people in VRChat for the sake of hooking up with people. I don't know. It's just me. Cause like it's weird to do it, or at least bring yourself closer to satisfaction if you don't have the right equipment. But yeah, I do not have that much interest in fucking in VR chat unless we're making some content for like Fansly. Then I very much am interested. Cause like I'm pretty sure you guys know, my regulars know that I've made Koikatsu ludes. And if you don't know what Koikatsu is, you're not enough of a DGen. It is basically a hentai game where with like a super good character customizer. I actually really like it. I come back in and hear Koikatsu. Yeah, good timing. It's like I summoned you. I'm just talking about my experiences and preferences regarding ERP, including in VRChat. And I'm all, yeah, I don't care about ERP in and of itself. Like I've done text based. I've done some in VRChat too. It's just okay. It's a thing. It's a thing I've done. That's pretty much it. It doesn't get my mojo going. I'm a very visual person. So like when I'm fuck it when I'm gooning, I like that image. I like being able to insert myself into things, and if my model is literally in the thing, it's so easy to insert myself into it. Despite being weird how out of body it feels to engage in the moment. I don't know. It's not my cup of tea, but I will happily make content with it. Just don't expect to hook up with me randomly if you find me in VR chat. Because honestly, I'm not that hard to find. You can fucking. I'm gonna start hanging out in After Dark a lot more. It's pretty cool. Oh hey Jackal, how you doing? I forgot to do I forgot to do sound alerts and whatnot. Um, honestly, that basically wraps up 45 minutes for this section. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that kind of wraps up the first segment of Cupid's Arrow. So, for anybody that has future questions, would like to, I don't know, got any questions they would like answered by couples that or people in relationships that come on a stream, please let me know. I can only do my best with the questions I can come up with. I'd mentioned something, but I could DM you that instead at this point. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel free. Because, like, yeah, this is a new segment, and we don't know where it's going to go. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you later. I'll put an actual fucking outro on the thing. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. I bet you're already a subscriber, huh? And I bet you already hit that like button, so I don't need to remind you. However, I am still going to thank all my beeps that support the channel through the membership. Thank y'all. You deserve that little kiss next to your name. If you're not subscribed, you really should. You get more stream segments like this, and I have video essays in the future.